Good morning, welcome back to the Groomsman. I'll be your host Jonathan, and today we're reviewing PAA's Mega Flora in CK6. And at request from one of the members of Ace Shaving Facebook group, the Lupo Dual Comb. It's a 0.72 open comb on one side and 0.95 safety bar on the other. I had that loaded up with the new old stock Schick Plus Platinum on the second use. First use was yesterday. I already got this all lathered up and the face is already wet. The scent is, if you're into faux jures, the scent is definitely a must-have. It's probably the most scent notes combined into one soap that I've ever used. It's 16 different scent notes into this Mega Faux Jure, Mega Flora soap, and it's very intoxicating. It's a bright green faux jure. It's not like a dark kind of mossy one. It does have oak moss in it, but it's very bright and green. Rose and geranium and tonka bean, lavender is kind of up front. Fir, pine needle. There's just too much. I can't remember all 16 of them. But it's a really nice faux jure. Really bright green, leafy, ferny scent. The CK6 is awesome. Like always, if you haven't used CK6 or even CK1, the Crown King formula, I highly recommend it. PAA makes a great soap. They're vegan. If you've never used vegan soaps, you won't notice any difference lathering this than you would a tallow-based soap. I mean, it's all just oils and butters, whether it comes from a plant or an animal. I'm going to start with the 0.95. It's the more aggressive of the two. The 0.72, even though it's an open comb, you can feel, for me, a noticeable difference in blade feel. The 0.72 is much less blade feel than the 0.95, but they're both very smooth. The Lupo is an excellently designed razor. The blade clamping is so close to the edge, kind of like the Henson. Not angle wise, obviously they're completely different, but the way they're clamped very tightly, so close to the edge. I think you can see that. There's no blade stutter. There's no possibility of blade stutter. And that just keeps it very smooth. I do like the very slim head too. I don't know if you've had issues getting into like under the nose. I think this will really help. It has a very slim head design. I like it for like underneath my chin here. The scent is great on the soap. Keep getting whiffs of it. Yesterday I used the Jaws, and the request to use this kind of came between kind of wanting a comparison between the two for someone that was thinking about buying a new razor. I was looking at these Razorock offerings, and the Game Changer is a nice razor. The Jaws is a very efficient plate option. But if I had to recommend a razor, I don't have to, I don't mind recommending razors, right? My recommendation is the Lupo. I think that blade clamping and the head design is superior to the Game Changer. It's a much more efficient design without being overly, it doesn't have an over abundance of blade feel. Actually really smooth. I kind of expected a little bit more. It's been a while since I used it. I think I normally use the 0.72. I don't know why. I kind of migrated towards that, but I don't think I talked about the brush. This is Voight and Cop. There you go, Voight and Cop, made in Italy. Italian blackwood. It's got a gold, 24 karat gold ring around the middle, and then the coin is gold as well. I won this in an auction, or a raffle, excuse me. If you haven't figured out from watching my videos, I'm a big fan of those raffles. It's got a VCO2 Manchurian knot in there. The VCO2 just being their second iteration of hand-tied knots that they make. I haven't used the VCO one, so I can't compare it, but I definitely like it. It's very dense, very soft, sprays well though. No scritch and a good scrub. The only thing about the dual comb is you can't be flipping back and forth like you would with a regular DE. I mean, you can. It's just gonna feel a little different. That point, and I'll do it for this side. You get a little bit more audio on that 0.72 with that open comb. So I think I prefer the 0.95. Maybe something about the blade feel. 1.95 is very, very smooth. Yeah, the shave with the jaws was good, the game changer jaws yesterday, but the Lupo is better, in my opinion. Just the smoothness of the shave. It's that blade clamping, I think, is just leads to a superior shave. I know they have a smaller blade cap Lupo offering now, the 0.58. If anyone's interested in the Lupo but wanting a little less aggressive, I don't really like the word aggressive, but a less efficient, that's not really the right word either. A little less blade feel probably is the right descriptor I'm looking for here. I have no doubt, I haven't used a 5.8, but I have no doubt that it's still efficient. The 0.72 is super efficient as well. And by efficient, I mean it gives a very close, effective shave. When I say aggressive, I try to stay away from that word because I think different people use it differently. When I say aggressive, when I hear aggressive, what I think is blade feel. When I hear that a razor is super aggressive, I am assuming, based off my own experiences that kind of lead me that way, that it has a lot of positive blade exposure. And that you feel that blade. It's got a heavy blade feel on the face. because you can be very efficient and not have a lot of blade feel. And for instance, this razor, the Lupo, or the carbon razors, if you ever looked at those, the plus plate, which is considered their most aggressive, efficient option, has less positive blade exposure than their original blade plate. It has the same blade exposure as their minus plate, which is their most mild. It just has a larger blade gap. So it's really all about blade angle, I think. The geometry that they end up making with the bend and the DE razor plays a big part in how that's feeling. The blade clamping plays a big part. But I think positive blade exposure and how much positive blade exposure plays a big part in how it feels on your face. Now some people like that. They like to feel the razor, they know where it's working. I know Fight Ass is very big into blade feel, kinda. I've gotten over the time frame that I started wet shaving, I've gotten more comfortable with razors that have more blade feel. I know when I first got this one, which was really early on, I thought the .95 was very, very efficient and too efficient for me. And so I looked for the .72 and I picked that up. And I think I traded for it. I had a titanium timeless, or not titanium, excuse me, an aluminum timeless that I traded for a .72 Lupo. But then as my technique improved, you know, your face toughens up a little bit. Then you come back and you revisit those razors that you once thought were really aggressive or had a lot of blade feel, and then you're like, no, not so much. And I'm fairly new into my wet shaving journey. It's only been, I think I'm working towards 2 years. Well, in like a month or two, it'll be 2 years. I was shaving with carts for just my whole life. And I started shaving when I was 13. And I went in the military and had to shave 5 or 6 or 7 days a week, depending on the week. Any day I went to work, at least 5 days a week. Some weeks those work weeks stretched out indefinitely. And I hated shaving. The whole time I was in the military, I hated shaving. Couldn't wait to get out and grow a beard. Shaving was the worst. You always had irritation. I always had like a red face after shaving. I always had a red neck. Your razor bumps along my neck. It was horrible. And then I saw Vanderhagen razor at the Base Exchange, the store on Base. And I'd heard that shaving with the traditional safety razor helped reduce, you know, razor bumps and folliculitis and all that stuff, that it was recommended for guys that had razor bumps. And I finally decided to go pick one up and try it. And it wasn't a great shave. I still don't like the VDH that much. It's inexpensive, I think, is the best thing I can say for it. But it got me into the hobby. And then I found a 3-piece kind of D89 clone from Sally's Beauty Store. It was, nope, I don't have it out here anymore. The Black Stag. It was a Sally exclusive made by a company in the UK. But it had a kind of a DE89, Mula R89 kind of style head. But I got it on special because they were discontinuing it. So I got it, I think they initially had it sold for like 30 or 40 bucks or something. And I got it on the for sale rack for $5. And that was the end of it. After that, I started looking at all the YouTube videos and reading forums and started buying vintage stuff. Found a red tip and a couple adjustables, a slim and a super adjustable, and the Gillette Tech. I used that for a really long time because it was really nice when it just started out. It was a nice, mild, easy to use razor. I still like the Gillette Tech. That is a close shave, people. I got a little bit of touch-ups. I always have these spots under my jawline that don't want to get smooth. I think I might just buff myself into some razor burn right there. It is one thing, it's definitely more efficient that way, where you get a little bit more razor burn if you're not careful, easy to over buff. Alright, we're gonna call it even for you. Skin my face off. I'm gonna hit that cold water rinse and I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back from that rinse and hit up that post shave matching Mega Flora splash. If you haven't used a PAA, it's an aftershave / cologne. You're in for a treat. All of PAA's products, I'd say, are scented pretty high, or most of them in my experience, which I like. And these double as a cologne. They'll hang out all day. For some good burn on that. I got a higher alcohol content in the splash. Put it all on my neck. It'll be nice to smell like this all day long. A little bit more of that lavender and the rose on top on this. I think that'll disappear on the dry down. Very nice, bright green fougere scent. They also have the Star Jellies, if you've never used any PA products. I don't have the one for this one. They're pretty nice. It's also considered an aftershave. It has alcohol in it, whereas the balm doesn't have alcohol. But it's got some skin food in it too. I find the fragrance is a little stronger in the splash. I think it has to do with the different kind of alcohol they use in the jelly versus in the splash. Although I've heard some people say they think the jelly has a stronger fragrance, so maybe it's just me. Or just my experience. I only have a few of the jellies, but they're nice. I tend to gravitate more towards the splash because I think they have a little bit more staying power, and I like that alcohol burn at the end there. I'll probably put on a little balm just because that razor was a little efficient. Ariana and Evans Post Shave Serum, my favorite post shave serum. It goes on really easy. It's not greasy feeling in any way. It doesn't leave your skin oily. It absorbs almost quickly. Almost quickly. Almost instantly. Just leaves your skin nice and soft and normal, like it feels like it wasn't dry at all. It's great. I like it. I don't like the ones that are really thick that kind of feel like lotions or leave your skin feeling kind of tacky. I don't like, there's no tackiness on this. It's great. Fantastic. Anyways, Mega Flora, fantastic fougere if you're into that kind of scent. Bright green fougere in particular versus the dark green fougere that are kind of different. And then the Lupo dual comb, 0.72 open comb, 0.95 safety bar. This is on a halo handle, He's got a lot of different Razorock handles on there. I picked this one just because somebody was looking at that handle as well, and I like it. It's grippy. I don't have any issue holding it. I didn't drop it or slip it, you know, during the shave. It's a little bit slippery than some of the other ones that have more aggressive knurling. Like this handle right here, I can't remember what this one's called, but the diamond knurling is a little bit more, you know, sticky in your fingers. If you ever worry about wanting something more grippy, I'd kind of go towards more something like that. But they're all great handle offerings, and you can put anything. It's standard threading, so I usually put a timeless handle on those razors when I use it because I like that handle better. Personal preference. But thanks for joining us. If you enjoyed the video, hit those buttons. We sure would appreciate it, and have a good day.